Alright, welcome back guys, and I'm really happy to see you back. And if you're new to this channel, well, welcome to New Smart. I'm Sebastian, and I created this channel in order to help you guys with your challenges in your life and to cope better with the challenges and to help you to improve yourself and your life. And if that's something you would like to get more content about, well, feel free to subscribe and stick around for today's video. So in today's video we're gonna look at courage. So we're gonna answer the question, first of all, what means courage, and clarify some misconceptions around that word. And then we're gonna answer the question, why is it important to have it in our life? And then we're gonna look at how can we act more courageous and how we can implement more of courageous habits in our life to actually achieve the life and live the life that we want to live. Because it takes courage to achieve our goals and the things that we really want, because usually along the way we have a lot of fears around those goals and things we're aiming for. So if that's something you're interested in, well then join me and let's explore it. So now the question is like, what means courage? Before I say what means courage, we'll tell you what it doesn't mean. Because I feel like a lot of people have this idea that courageous people do not feel fear and that they don't experience fear at all and they're just courageous. And well, that is wrong. It's the total opposite. Like, really, they still experience fears the way you do and I do, but it's just the difference between how we act when they experience fear, whether they wear rule and control fear, or whether they still stay in control. And so I like to fall on Nelson Mandela, who really put it in a great way. He said, I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. So the brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. And I feel like he puts it perfectly. And I always remind myself in those situations by saying to myself, action responded fight. That's the difference. I still act even though afraid. Action despite fear is for me the reminder that alright, I'm afraid, but I'm still gonna take action towards the goals that I have, and that's courage. So courage and fear are brothers. You know, like I always like to say, fear is the brother that goes up uninvited, and he always comes when we really don't like him, but he really sticks around, you know. And courage is the one we actually have to pursue and invite. Courage doesn't come on its own. It doesn't come uninvited. We have to make an effort to invite courage in lives. Well, we all have them. We all experience fear, no matter where you are, and no matter what your skin color is, what your name is, and all human beings experience it. It comes in all colors and all shapes and intensities. So, for example, I'm gonna share, I think, 3 of my very big fears, which are like, I have a big fear of failure, or like being rejected, or the sense of not being good enough, experience the feeling of not being good enough. And I feel like a lot of people can probably relate to those fears. And for me, for example, making those videos here and sharing my thoughts and my ideas with other people is, for me, facing my fears of, you know, because you guys can tell me, oh, well, Sebastian, this is pretty shit what you produce here. And I'm like, yeah, well, that's might be true. And facing those fears, you know, or, you know, that I'm facing certain comments, and there are always some people who might be not that nice. And I guess we all experience those feelings. And for me, making those videos is overcoming my fears and having a bit of courage to, share myself and tell, well, I'm curious, tell me, what is it for you? Like, what are your fears and what are your actions of courage? I'm curious, like, how do you face your fears and how do you overcome them? Like, let me know in the comments below. I'm always curious what you guys feel and think, and so we can, yeah, create a bit of a community, what I'm really looking forward to, like sharing each other's problems and helping each other out. You know, like our fears are, they're holding us back quite often, you know, they're holding us back from the things that we really want, you know. Maybe it's the career that you want, the promotion that you want, or maybe the partner that you would like to pursue, or, you know, like a new skill that you can learn, or a new country to visit, or all kind of challenges in your life, you know. They scare us, and our fears, they are holding us back, they're keeping us in our comfort zone. And our comfort zone is the place where we are safe and where we feel yeah, protected, and everything is, we know kind of what's going on, and we feel safe and in control. And yeah, and I came across another statement, a quote about fear, which I really like, and it states, fear has two meanings. Well, first, forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. And well, the choice is ours. So the question is, what do you choose? Are you run away, or are you going to face the fear? And I hope you're going to choose the latter, and I would like to encourage you to it. Alright guys, so now I would like to share something with you that I created that's kind of explaining the process of us moving out of our comfort zone and reaching a growth zone where we learn new skills, where we find excitement and fulfillment. So let's get into it. And so here we see how we start in our comfort zone. That's where we usually feel a sense of safety, a sense of control. Everything is very predictable, and you have kind of repetition going on. So around that, we find our fear barrier that holds us within our comfort zone usually. And so then we try to move out, we aim outside of it. And that's where, outside of this fear barrier, we'll find the growth, the success, purpose, progress, and fulfillment, and all the excitement, all the fulfillment that we're looking for. So usually it looks like that. We leave our comfort zone, then aim for our comfort, something outside of the comfort zone, then move through the fear barrier into the growth zone. And that's where the pizza party happens. Why pizza party? Well, I love pizza, and so feel free to subscribe and like my channels. So guys, now is the question, where do we go from here? So the thing is, thinking will not overcome fear, but action will. So we have to take action. We need to do something. So what can we do? Alright guys, so now is the question, how can we put it into action? Like, how can we practice courage? And therefore I would like to quote Eleanor Roosevelt, who said, do one thing every day that scares you. And that's really important, so because we really have to look for opportunities throughout the day, for small opportunities every day where we can act courageous. And that might be very different for everyone. Like, it might be speaking up to your boss, to friends, or, you know, speaking up for yourself, and or taking actions on things that you would like to learn, or new skills and that always kind of scared you, you know, things that, like, for others might be bungee jumping or maybe skydiving, or, you know, those things. And yeah, looking for opportunities. Could be small ones, could be big ones, but look for those opportunities to train your courage muscle, because we really need to build our courage muscle so we can tackle our bigger fears in life and overcome them. We have to dare to dream big, like we have to have a vision. We have to think outside of our box, because our box is our comfort zone, as I mentioned before. And in that box, we are not growing. This is not a place of fulfillment and excitement, you know. And in order to take action on something, we need to have a vision. You need to dream. You have to have a vision, an idea of what you want to achieve, of a person that you want to be, or the way you want to act, and a life that you would want for yourself. And for that, you need to have a vision. And then very important is, sorry YouTube, I have to say it that way, but it's fuck the naysayers. You know, like, don't listen to those people. Like, don't listen to the people who tell you, oh, you can't do it, this is too difficult, that's a silly dream, or those things. Just don't listen to those people. Those people are just too afraid of taking action on their own dreams, or even they're too afraid of even dreaming or standing out. And it's important to not listen to them. Courageous people don't listen to the naysayers. And so I recommend to you to just accept what they have to say, but just don't take it. Just don't take it don't give that any importance to it. So, and because believe me, it's really, if you can see it, if you have a vision for yourself, you can do it. That's really, it sounds cheesy, and R. Kelly said it in his song. It's like, if you can see it, then you can do it, and if you can feel it, there's nothing to it. And that's really, it is like that. Everything starts with a dream, with a vision, with something, an imagination, with a vision for yourself. And then we can take action on it. And that's, we will experience fear, because there will be fear along the way to achieve that goal. But that's when we have to hold on to our vision, because that's going to be our motivation to move through this fear. And that's really something, if we practice that, you will build a lot of courage. Rules are for suckers. And what I mean by that is, always keep a skeptical mind. You know, courageous people won't accept things for as the truth just because someone said it. You know, just don't follow blindly the things that people say. Always be skeptical and question things. You know, don't be afraid of having a mind on your own. You know, it's all right to have your own opinion, and that's what courageous people do. They make up their own mind. They don't just follow what people say, or they don't follow status quo. They have the courage to say, all right, I have a different opinion. And that's a very important thing to practice. Courageous people, they own it. They always own it. What that means is they're taking responsibility for everything in their life, you know. Quite often we just fall for the victim trap, you know. We act from a mindset of victim, you know. We always find ways to blame others. Not me, was his problem. He did that. You know, it's easy, you know, it comes kind of subconscious and automatic to us to kind of find excuses and find ways to blame our circumstances. We can't take action on things, and why it's not the right timing, and those are all excuses, and that's totally natural, you know. But we have to figure out how to take responsibility for that, to move beyond that and actually take action and be bigger than our excuses, and being bigger than our story, you know, because our excuses and our subconscious habits of ways of blaming circumstances and finding excuses, they're part of our story. So we have to learn to be bigger than our story, and to stop blaming the circumstances. Just realize that it's up to you, and you can take charge. You can the steering wheel of your life control. So taking responsibility for how we respond to every in our life that happened in our life, that is such an act of courage, you know. And you know, many people have the ability to do that, to take the charge of their own life and their own actions. So remember that mistakes are lessons. Those are lessons to be learned. So courageous people know that. They understand that they have mistakes in order to learn. You know, like growing beyond our comfort zone, and beyond our comfort zone, there is uncharted territory. We don't know what's out there. We don't know how to act out there and what to do. So we are naturally going to do mistakes. That's part of growing and learning. And so that's something courageous people understand, and they are not afraid of it. They just take it as part of the journey. You know, take for example, you want to learn an instrument. Believe me, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to make a lot of them. And that's just how you learn. Like, that was wrong. That sounded like, okay, cool, I have to do it in a different way. That's how you learn it, you know, like, that way didn't work, so I have to do it another way. So, and that's part of the journey. Mistakes are lessons, and please remember that when you're on that journey. So don't get discouraged because of that. It just happens. So another thing is, like, we have to always keep an open mind, and it's important to assume that you could be wrong. And it's an act of courage to be able to take critical feedback on board and to maybe reflect on our beliefs and on our knowledge and think, well, maybe I'm wrong. Even though so far I thought it was right, but that is actually a good point if someone brings that onto you, you know, saying, you know, being open to feedback and to growth, because that's how we learn and how we improve our knowledge, by also accepting that other people might know more than us, and they can help us to learn and to grow. And that's what courageous people understand. They're open for feedback, and they assume, I could be wrong. Maybe the other person can teach me something new. So guys, last but not least, to finish this off, is another thing is to really be able to keep going and keep moving on despite all the things that happen in your life, you know, and that's really a true act of courage, you know, because we all know how bad things will happen, things will go wrong, mistakes will be made over and over again, and sometimes it feels like we're stuck and we really think like, oh my God, I would like to give up because this really doesn't seem to work out. But that's where we really have to push on, you know. After we fall, we have to stand up again and keep moving and keep believing in what we want to achieve. And that's, you know, if we want to don't give up, then we will get what we want. And I believe you can do it. You know, if I can do it and you can do it, I'm here for you to motivate you and to help you guys. And if you have questions, you know, always drop some comments down in the good old comment section, and don't forget to subscribe and hit those like buttons, you know. Alright guys, that's a wrap for today. I appreciate your time and I appreciate that you're here with me and that you made it till the end. And yeah, if you like what you saw, feel free to subscribe, hit the notification bell and hit the like button, because it really helps the channel to grow. And yep, drop me some comments and give me some feedback, ask me questions. I will reply to your questions. And yep, I'm really happy and looking forward to see you guys next time. So till then, stay safe and happy and enjoy. Bye bye.